Good evening.
My name is Omar Shaheed. I'm a sculptor. I specialize in sculpting stone and bronze. I've been talking with the city about using some of the land bank property to create a sculpture garden and a small sculpture center in order to teach kids stone carving. It's a dying art. It's not taught anywhere. I've been carving now for 25 years. I had to find my own way to carve, to learn how to carve. I like to teach this to kids here in Columbus. I've been here 15 years. I've got sculpture in various parts of the city. King Arts Complex, downtown at the hospital. So I'd like to teach sculpture in a park, in a nice setting, bring in other artists from different parts of the country and the world. I did a symposium in Africa a couple of years ago, carving stone. And there was artists from 30 different countries. And we were all there carving, invited by the Minister of Culture. I'd like to see that happen here. I'm in a position where I know the people to bring them here, but I need the program. Thank you.
I appreciate your coming, and I want to put you in touch with Councilwoman Priscilla Tyson. She is a gallery owner and is very much interested in the arts, as well as works real closely with our Recreation and Parks Committee, and it might be something she wants to pursue with you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your talents and willingness to share your talents with our young people, because you're absolutely right. We've got to teach our young people those arts, those crafts that are dying, you know, and that's a very important one. Anyone else who wants to come to the microphone with suggestions or ideas that we can share with the PACT or with any one of the partners in the redevelopment of the East Side. Ms. Shabazz.
This was last one from our Facebook page that said, didn't see anything regarding entrepreneurship and business incubation services. Stephanie Hightower from the Columbus Urban League was attending at the PACT, so would like to see more information regarding entrepreneurship and business incubation services within this area.
Any of the members of the advisory board want to share any comments?
Hi, I'm Marilyn Rice, and I'm with Woodland Park Neighborhood Association. I hear everyone in this room saying what they do not think PACT is doing. PACT can do a lot if everyone in this room have a voice. We have a voice. We have subcommittees on PACT, and I'm not on PACT, but I try to make every meeting I can to voice my opinion. And I expect everybody in this room that's complaining or wanting to make a difference to do the same thing. I attended a meeting Tuesday night, subcommittee, Safe and Vibrant. It's got 30 members, only 5 showed up from the community, representing the community. We are very big complaining, but we are very little on action. It is time for us to stand up and make the $10 million work for us. And that's what I want to see with this community going forward.
Anyone else?
Before I get started, I wondered if you could read those questions again, please.
I mean,
That you started with? Yes.
The first one, if we cannot count on black folk acting like they have some sense at the PACT, how can we count on these same black folk to represent our interests? The second, these committees don't seem to consist of the poor and working class people of this neighborhood. If these people are not from or of the community, what makes them think they can know what's best for the community? And then the third question, I hear that OSU is driving PACT. Why is the university driving PACT rather than the city? This doesn't make sense to me. Can someone explain this?
My name is Charleta Tavares. I'm representing the All African People's Revolutionary Party, and I have an office in the Mount Vernon Plaza. I think that the first 2 questions in particular speak to a perennial problem that our community has been having for years, and that's the lack of proper representation. And I think the issue is that we still remain to be politically disorganized. Politically disorganized. As far as we're concerned, both the Democratic and the Republican Party has failed us miserably. Now, that's not to say that you, Sister Tavares, we've seen each other many times at many events, and Sister Tyson, I think you all do care you're making an effort. But we think the parties themselves have miserably failed us. So our position is, and we say this every time we come before the people, that people need to be in an organization. They need to be in an organization that is working on behalf of the community, working to uplift the community. Similar to what the sister just said before, not just on this issue, but all of the issues that we face. We need to be in an organization. We say that we want unity, but we can't have unity unless we're in an organization. Because talking about unity without organization is senseless. It's like talking about an empty well. It does no one any good. And then these organizations must form a united front so we can put the necessary political pressure where it needs to be placed. Until we do this, the working class, the poor, will never be represented. Will never be represented, and then we will continually have people coming out claiming to speak for us, but have no relationship with us at all. But that is a responsibility that we must take responsibility for. We should not expect anybody to do anything for us. We have to get up and do it ourselves. So our recommendation is not so much to PACT, but it's to our people in our community. Get in an organization today that's fighting for us. And then encourage these organizations to form a united front so we can put pressure on everybody. The university, the Democrats, the Republicans, and especially those people who claim to speak for us. We think that is the ultimate solution. Thank you.
Well, I would just agree with you, and I appreciate your kind comments at the front of your remarks. But I agree that many of you have heard me say this over and over. Frederick Douglass said it many, many years ago, that power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, and it never shall. So if there is no demand from the people who are impacted the most, there will be no change, because people don't give up things just automatically because it's the right thing to do. So the people do have to have a stake in this. As the sister said earlier, the committee meetings. Is anybody in this room a member of any PACT committee?
I'm a member of PACT committee.
Okay, raise your hand so I can see how many are in the room. And so those of you who are a member of the PACT committees, do you attend the meetings?
Yes.
And consistently, because that's what it takes. It's not, sporadic, because that's what it takes if you're really going to represent the interests of the people who ask that you be a part of the PACT. So, go ahead.
I'm Pastor Snyder, Pastor Bethel Union Church, and represent the treasurer for the IMA and also vice president for the African Methodist Episcopal Ministerial Alliance. I'm in agreement that we need a community benefits agreement, not only for Project 1, but also for the Near East Side project. And my reason being is that the way this project is shaped is there's going to be a master planner that will come in and take the 3 recommendations of the mayor, the Ohio State, and also CMHA. When I attended the first meeting, they were putting together all this stuff. They said, who putting money into the game? And it was kind of arrogant the way that they said it, because they represent, number one, Ohio State, the city of Columbus, and CMHA are all governmental agencies that represent the people. So it's our money. I think it's a disservice that when our elected officials and those who are appointed talk to us, it's our money that they're investing in our neighborhood. And so we need a community benefits agreement where the people can determine the outcome and how this stuff is shaping out. Secondly, I would ask that you would have an investigation on Project 1 to see how it has affected the African American community, males and women, in employment and the small businesses, because that is a trial project, Ohio State, Central State, and I think it's Wright State University. And those are projects at risk. And those projects at risk are not currently working for our community. They have brought in a third entity or another, it's called an EDGE program. And the EDGE participation, which normally represents minority businesses, have risen at an alarming rate. And the minority businesses and women-owned businesses have shrunk at an alarming rate. So there needs to be an investigation to say that these particular type of project at risk, is not working for the community at large. We're not getting the jobs, we're not getting the training and the apprenticeship programs. We're being locked out in our own community, and it's unfortunate. The facts speak for themselves. This is a top-down ran project, and they keep talking about, I attended PACT meetings, it wasted time. Because they told us at the beginning, all we want to do is give recommendations that may not be heard to a hierarchy that's going to take the recommendations into another hierarchy, and finally the master plan is going to meet with the 3 people from the city, Ohio State, and they're going to make the final decision. So I mean, who got time to waste your time when you realize that your opinion is not going to be evaluated? And people are not stupid, they're not dumb. And it's like, you know, we see the same people that don't look like folks that come from this neighborhood working in all of our buildings. And when are we going to be real? And we're going to get some real representation that really speaks truth to power. And the people who are in place, stop lying. Just tell the truth.
Other comments? Come to the microphone and give your name and if you're representing anyone.
Okay, my name is Calvin Harrison. Now, the Harrisons are an integral part of this neighborhood for a long time. Refuge Baptist, my cousin Ebenezer, my daughter worked for Metropolitan up till December the 8th. She no longer works at Metropolitan because of reorganization. They chose to take her job and give it to a white contractor out of Detroit. Now, as a father, I asked her, She is a graduate of OSU. I worked 2 jobs, 30 years to make sure my baby had an opportunity. She made the sacrifices necessary, and she was a professional, but because of the political environment that this has created, somebody made the decision to take her job and give it to somebody that had no stake. How do you think as a father that makes me feel? That's what's going on in this neighborhood. Somebody needs to get a handle and get control of this fast-moving train that is running over our neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Randy Burley. I've been working with the McNabbs, the Knabb Funeral Home, other businesses in this district. Went to school at OSU. So I feel, and I don't live in Columbus, so let me address that first. One, I'm from Miami. And in Miami, you have Cubans in Miami. You have Cubans in Cuba. No Cuban in Cuba tells a Cuban in Miami, you can't come assist and participate in helping Cubans in Cuba. So I'm not gonna come before you and apologize for not living in Columbus. I can say that all my volunteer time was done in Columbus.